this is Joquena from modernhomemakers.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make organizers. And yes, you can pick whatever fabric you want. If you're not as gaudy as me, you know, neutrals will still good. These are great if you're a crafter. You've got tons of junk, treasures, junk, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, all you need is cardboard boxes, and you don't even have to have the right size. You can see I've taken these babies and I have duct taped them to custom fit my space. You can't get something in a store necessarily that's going to custom fit your space. So you need boxes. If they're not the right size, you need duct tape, you need scissors, and fabric scissors. There is a difference, people. You need a hot glue gun with lots of glue, and you either need something to protect your surface like a big grocery bag, or if you have a crafting table that you don't care about, this is the chance to use it. And you need some plain copy paper. As you can see, I've lined the inside with copy paper. So go get your stuff and we'll be right back. So as I mentioned a second ago, I didn't have a box that was the right size for what I wanted. So if you're like me, all you're gonna do is literally cut your cardboard down to the size you want and then be liberal with your duct tape. Don't be chintzy. So you can see I've gone in on the inside seams and on the outside seams. You're not going to see this unless you have a really thin, clear fabric. So don't use a thin, clear fabric. Alright, how much fabric do you need, Joquena? Well, I don't know what size your box is, so here's how you figure out. And yes, you can take that box into the fabric store. You might get some looks, but do you really care? So, from the back, whatever you want the back of your box to be, which you need to decide that for yourself. It's really all the same. I guess I'll make this the back of my box. Put the front down and take your fabric, and you need to have enough to meet and overlap just a little bit in the back. I think this was a yard of fabric. I'm not even going to cut that so that I can turn it under and glue. So that measurement is correct, but we are going to measure and cut. Just, you can see this is not an exact science. I'm going to cut this much off, so that's about a hand's width at the end. So we've got our start point. Get rid of this. We're going to cheat and fold it in half so we have half as much to cut. Anyone wish they had one of those cool tables like in the fabric store at home with the grid in it? I just want to sneak behind the counter sometime and cut down the little metal channel that's in their table. Maybe I'm just dorky and that's just me. Alright, so this we don't need. Put that in your scrap pile. Now, you do not need to wash your fabric in advance because you might lose your crazy gaudy colors that you were going for. So what we're going to do is we're not going to wash it, but I'm going to pause for a minute and I'm going to go iron out because these will not go away on their own. So take some time, go iron. We've got our box all taped up, we've ironed our fabric. I'm going to line it up so that whatever you want the back of your box to be, that the fabric comes about to the middle of that. So we've got, I have multiple hot glue guns because over the years they were always missing. So that's going to help me be faster for you guys. So we're going to start with our back seam here, and just right on the corner I'm throwing on some glue. And this is very repetitive, gluing all the way around the box. That's all there is to it. So I'm doing whatever piece of the fabric you want to be hidden. So for me, that's my white selvage area. And I'm just going to keep going down in strips. Just remember to constantly be pulling the fabric because this is your one chance to have it lie flat and smooth. And it doesn't have to cover every inch. You'd be lucky to walk out with an organizer box if you've looked for $10. That was like a good deal. And that doesn't mean they're pretty or the right size. I would be embarrassed to admit how much money I've spent on organizers. Okay, so we've got that done, and now we're going to flip everything over and start from the other side. Got to go real fast once you get the glue on because it starts to dry right away. Come on, glue stick. And then pulling and smoothing. Helped my husband organize his office area recently, and he requested no pink. I don't know where he would get the idea that I like pink. Supporting a little from the inside so it doesn't buckle. The red glue gun seems to be superior. Noted. And we're getting ready to turn the corner here. You want to make sure you always get both sides of the corner, even though that's really close, because that's where the most stress is. And these boxes are great. They could be more than just organizing. You could put a nice, cute little gift in them that someone can reuse. One of my favorite baby presents this last baby was just a basket that I got to reuse, and it was great. It had the present, which was bubble bath stuff and some gift cards, but it also had the basket, which I actually put all my cloth diapers in, so it's a lot nicer than wrapping paper that you just throw it in the landfill somewhere. This you can keep on using. You can see if you look at my other videos, I like to take cardboard and do other things with it. Got all my fabric organized with cardboard. I've got a video on that. Okay, we're going to do our last corner and then we're to the tricky part and back. Corner. Just pulling on it as we go around. Now, this is a finished seam that came with the fabric. This is the selvage, so it's already been finished. But what I'm going to do, because it's full of all those needle puncture holes from the machine, I am going to turn it and do a turned under seam area here. So I'm just going to glue right on the project, a little bit at a time where I want it to be. Oh, sorry. That's harder for you to see, isn't it? Be careful, that's hot. I make a lot of puppets, so my fingers are kind of deadened probably. But you can dip your fingers in some water if that's too hot for you. Takes away some of the heat. Okay, so I've got that all the way down. And now we're going to do the inside. So we're going to turn it on its side. And we're going to basically be tucking this in all the way around. This is really a lot like wrapping a present. See, it doesn't matter that I've got duct tape there. It's going to go right over the top of it, just like everything else. Okay, I'm just going to do that top portion, and I'll come back around and do lower in a bit. Okay, so we'll come back in and we'll cover all that up with paper. So if you want, you can do another band of glue on the lower portion of that, but I'm going to cover it up, so I don't really care. I'm going to do one more right here, though, on the flap. Alright, so now we're doing the bottom. And we're going to flip it like this so it's easier. Once again, we're wrapping a present here, people. Tight. It's okay. Most of my boxes don't even cover the whole bottom, so it's okay if it doesn't match up right on the bottom. I don't know about you, but I personally don't walk around looking at the bottoms of people's organizers. So we're just making sure you can't see it from the front or from the side. And then, like a present, you see we've got these corners nice and good. We're going to take that down. We'll do one right in there. Pull it tight. And then we'll do that. So if you really cared about the looks of your bottom, you could use some of your extra fabric and cut a square just the size of your box, iron under the edges, and then it would look beautiful down there. So we've got that all flat, and now I'm going to go grab my chair because we're going to be doing the inside. So I'll be back in a second. The inside, you could be done right here. You don't have to do any more. Like, no one's going to see your extra serge or thread and stuff. So you could be done. However, I want to put the paper in there just so it has an extra finish. You could also use matching fabric or a cute contrast fabric for your inside. It's your thing. The paper is pretty cheap. So what we're going to do is cut the paper to fit, and we're going to save the bottom for last. Now, if you have to do any corners, I recommend you take the paper and go like this. See how I did that? That way there's no cut where you can see the cardboard box, but we've still got that nice lip of fabric up here. Then we're going to go all the way around. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, so I'm gluing in the last piece, but I wanted you to see how I did all the corners. You can see, and I folded into the bottom, and that was just folding computer paper so that you don't see it. And then I'm going to glue in the last piece, and then you won't see any of that. So if this is something that's going to be having rough wear, like a child using it, that would be a good reason to use fabric instead of paper. But this is literally just storage in my office. And voila, come around front. Look at your beautiful basket that you made. Was that worth 30 bucks? Although I did get burned several times, so don't rush like I did. So anyway, check out my other videos on our YouTube channel, or we have lots of other great articles, not just crafting stuff, on modernhomemakers.com. Have a great day.